Hello, it's Deborah from the attic, and I'm back for a quick little video. And the reason I'm doing this is because of all the reaction I got when I uploaded the most recent part 5 video for how to make a journal using a map. And so many of you loved the words. And that took me by surprise. There's been so many lovely comments about the words and about how, you know, you can use your own words. And for many of us, some of the, it sounds like the fairies, it's my phone. And for many of us, some of the words that you could get on stamps and you can download are just a little bit, we wanted something a bit more personal. So what I've done is I've taken my words, some of my words, and I've prepared a sheet. I've actually got 3 sheets, but I've only printed out 1. And what I've done is I've taken some of the ones that I've taken out the ones that are sort of really personal to me, and I've put in some that I think are quite general. So hopefully you can see these, and I've printed these out onto a piece of tea stained paper, which I've actually turned into a JPEG file, and I'm going to load these on Etsy. So this is page 1. Page 2 is in a slightly different font, a narrower font, and then page 3 is a different font again. But I've just printed this one off for now because I want to show you how you can use these words. You know how I use them. I cut them into strips, I store them in my books, maybe under a piece of washi tape somewhere. I think there's some in a pocket here, and I have them ready to glue into my journal, as you will have seen. But I thought it would be useful just to go through some ways that you can use these words. Now, the way that I've laid them out on the page, I've taken a bit of time to do this, so you have loads of options in how you use them. I often, if I have words on a stamp, I will often cut the stamp down because maybe I want the words to go vertical rather than be in a horizontal line, and I've spaced these out in such a way that you could do that if you wanted to. So for example, there's quite a long phrase here, words of wisdom can be found elsewhere, and if you want you can cut that out so that the words of wisdom can sit above can be found elsewhere. I'll show you what I mean, but I want you to have the option so the words are quite well spaced out so that you can cut between the words and you can design them for your needs as appropriate. You might want to just cover an ATC, you know, a little card that's 3.5 by 2.5 inches, just with words, just with a phrase, and I hope the way that I've set this out lets you do that. So the way that I begin when I have my words printed out is I cut them down. So I cut them into strips. I don't always line them up correctly, but that's part of the fun of it. And that's my get out clause. You can, of course, if you're printing onto your own tea stain paper or onto this, you can of course reserve the strip and you can write on that, or you can use that for other things. Don't throw stuff away if you think you might be able to use it. So let me take this one. This strip has got 2 phrases on it. So this first phrase is, what I need is a nice cup of tea for staining papers, and the second phrase is paper therapy. And I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to show you what I mean about cutting these down. So paper therapy, that is one little phrase in its own right, and maybe you would like to add that to one of your pages. And I've cut that down a little bit more. It's slightly on the wonk, but you know, I am a wonky girl. And if I want to make that stand out more, I can add lines. I'm using a brown archival ink pen, and I can add little lines, and I can leave it like that, and that would really stand out nicely on my page. Or I can box it in like that. So then I've got a great little phrase ready to stick on one of my journaling cards or one of my journaling pages. With this, let me show you what I meant about having lots of distance between the words. So if I wanted to have a phrase that was actually just going to be on a card, I'm just going to pull a card from this little book. this is it's a beautiful fabric, and this is a little fabric coloured notebook, and I have a video ready to tell you about this, but I'm not ready right at the moment to reveal it. But don't worry, this is coming, this is coming. So let me steal one of the journaling cards that I've made to go with that book and show you what I mean. So if I wanted to have a phrase that covered the whole of the reverse, I would cut that down. So I would have, what I need is a nice cup of tea. I always need a cup of tea anyway because I'm British, for staining papers. So I can cut that down and I can add it to the reverse of my tag like that. So that's just, I mean, I'm doing this very quickly just to show you all the different ways that I hope you could use these words. So that's one example. And the other thing that I do is I will cut the strips down so that I can prepare them just to include in my journal, in a pocket or in under a piece of washi tape. So because sometimes if you're journaling on the go, and this is the way that I use mine, I want to have the words ready that I can just fix in place, and maybe I take a little glue stick, you know, like a Pritt stick with me, and then I can just glue my words in place. So I cut them down ready to be added to my journal, and then if I want to add doodling around them, I just take a pen and I can do that. But I hope that that is helpful. Sorry, it's a wee bit all over the place, but I wanted to respond to all the people that had asked about this, and I'm going to upload 3 of these. It's going to be on plain white, so it's not going to be like this on the coffee stain paper. What I'm going to do is give you 3 sheets with words on them. Each sheet will have a different font, and then the 4th sheet will be this tea stain paper. So I'm going to load that onto Etsy. I'm going to stick it on as a minimal price. I had to look at a way that I could maybe do it as a freebie. Bear with me, I couldn't find a way to do that. I'm not very technical, so I'm kind of finding my way through this. But I will pop it on the on my Etsy store for sort of pennies. It won't be very expensive, and it will just be to cover the cost of you know, listing an item. And if you find that useful, do give me feedback. Do let me know, because every time I make a journal, as you know, I make my own words for it, and then if my words can help you, so maybe if I do botanical words, or if I do cooking words, or adventure words, or journal words, travelling words, anything like that that has that theme, if you let me know that this is useful and has a value to you and saves you a bit of time, I'll upload some more for you. So let's just let's see how we go with this one anyway. Like I say, I'm finding my way with this stuff a little bit. It's a wee bit technical for me, but if it works, yay, we're all winning. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.